It's time the traditional school week was shortened from 5 days to four. Now, the 5 day school week has been a traditional American staple for so long that we've forgotten about a great alternative, the 4 day school week. It is time that we start looking at our children's needs and how a 4 day school week can benefit them. Our children spend 71% of their week in school and the other 29% out of school. Now, we might think that this is acceptable because adults typically spend the same amount of time at work during the week, but what is acceptable for adults is not necessarily acceptable for children. While it is true that we must do everything we can to prepare our children for the workforce that they will one day join, normalizing them to the 5 day work week is not the most important way of doing this. In fact, businesses around the world are already switching to a 4 day work week as it has shown promise in increasing worker productivity. Here in the United States, we need to switch to the 4 day school week to improve our students' well being, academic performance, and improve the budgets of our schools. In order for this change to work, we must start small and slowly expand outwards. That is, we must start switching school districts to a 4 day work week in smaller rural communities and then shift our direction outward to larger, more populous communities. This would work best because it is a way to monitor the benefits of a 4 day work week on a smaller scale where a 4 day school week on a smaller scale where small changes to the local education system would not make a significant impact. And this is also beneficial because it would allow smaller school districts to gain valuable data on the switch while larger districts monitored that data and found ways to work it into their system. Now, over one third of school districts in Colorado have adopted the 4 day schedule, where they have found the switch to be beneficial from the faculty and student side. Imagine yourself back in middle school again. It's Tuesday morning, and you just started the first day of the school week. After coming from a 3 day weekend, you feel refreshed and invigorated. You relaxed on Saturday, recovering from the busy and eventful school week. You spent Sunday with your family, enjoying your time with them before your mom and dad went off to work the next day. Then, on Monday, you spent the day engaging in activities that interest you and help you cope with the natural stresses of life. After a full 3 days of rest, community bonding, and utilizing your own coping responses, you were ready to greet the school week with a bright attitude and a full level of mental energy. Looking forward, you know that if the school week ends up a little bit rough, it'll be over on Friday, and you'll have another 3 days of rest to recuperate again. Every single school week, you get an extra day to relax and enjoy the things that bring you happiness in your life. And this doesn't just have to be a fantasy, it can be a reality for every student around the country. Additionally, this change doesn't just apply to students. The 4 day school week can be a wonderful change for faculty as well. When a school implements a 4 day school week, the generic school day shifts to a longer one. This change is beneficial to teachers and other faculty because it allows for an additional day of planning curriculum throughout the week, which further improves students' ability to perform in school by being introduced to more efficient and quality teaching. Furthermore, an additional day off for teachers would provide them the same benefits that it provides students. That is, they would have another day in the week to rest and recuperate before the work week starts again. Before the school week starts up again, thus improving their overall quality of life. Now, we can achieve this nationwide transition to a 4 day school week in many different ways. The first would be through word of mouth. The more that this topic is communicated and normalized, the more likely it is to be accepted. We can also bring the scholarly research that outlines the benefits of 4 day school week to our local school district officials. Now, those of you who are parents with children in the public school system, you have a voice that can be shared freely among PTA meetings. And those of you who aspire to be future educators in public school systems can have a voice through your future places of employment. America, American education statistics have continued to decline over the years, and all we have been able to do is watch the news and see the rise in layoffs, furloughs, and budget cuts. Our public school systems are in decline, and we have nothing to lose by switching to a more beneficial system of teaching and educating through the transition to a 4-day school week. Thanks for listening.